Hey, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Griefdrums, and in today's video, I have a stinking cold, so I can only apologise if my voice sounds a little bit different. But as you've probably read from the title, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be putting out 3 brand new tips every week if I can. I'm going to try and do 3 brand new tips per week to hopefully assist players and give you some ideas of what you can do and how to do it to attack different bomb sites or defend different sites. It's not just going to be bomb. Some of these are going to work on secure area, others are going to work on hostage, but hopefully they will assist you. With all of that in mind, this series is going to rely heavily on your input. Now, I have quite a lot of tips that I wish to impart myself, but if you've got cool tips that you want to share with other people, you can head over to my Discord channel, click on the link on the left hand side, which is going to be located here, and put your ideas down. If you can include videos of it being used or just a showcase, even just screenshots, anything like that is going to be a massive help. But I'd love it if you guys were to get involved as well. So with all of this in mind, let's go ahead and get started. So tip number 1 is going to be for attacking the basement and laundry side on Oregon downstairs. When defenders are setting up, it is very, very common practice, predominantly because of the Pro League and the way that they have been doing things, to set up a reinforcement on this wall in the supply closet and then put a mirror window on the wall itself. This gives you a really good line of sight to cover various different angles into the laundry, and countering it can be quite difficult. Very often you'll see people hovering around the hatch, and this mirror window gives you a really good line of sight onto the hatch. It allows you to cover that, it allows you to cover the washing machine or the dryer that people try and plant the diffuser on, and it is a really effective spot. So how do you deal with it? You can take Capital and attempt to peek through the hatch, but we all know that Capital is a little bit weak in a lot of these environments. Instead, a really good way to handle this is by taking someone like Sledge or Buck or potentially even IQ and going up to the master bedroom. Now what you do need is you do need someone to have opened up the hatch, a Hibana or a Thermite, but this is a fairly common practice. It nearly happens at the beginning of every single round that you play attacking this basement. That's one of the first tasks that a Hibana and Thatcher combo will potentially do. By taking a Sledge and going up to the master bedroom upstairs, you can open this section of flooring here just in front of the bed itself. This allows you to look all the way down through the hatch and onto the center console that is downstairs just in front of the mirror window. Now what you can do is you can cheekily throw a grenade down there and bounce it off this section of the table just here, and even if the wall is closed, the soft wall to the side of the mirror is closed, the grenade will travel all the way down, bounce off the top and injure anyone behind that mirror window. Now we did a few different tests with this. We tried different cooking times and stuff like that, and we also tried having the wall both open and closed, because very often mirrors will shotgun open the wall just to the left, so anyone that's playing behind the window, whether it be smoke, can lob the canisters over the top. If they are doing that, it's even easier. You need to cook the grenade for even less time, because the grenade will actually go through the hole in the wall and open it right up, killing anyone behind. And if the wall is soft, you can potentially just throw 2 grenades down if the first one doesn't get them. The thing I really like about this tip is you're not overexposing yourself at the hatch in a sort of kill zone, because if you're hanging around that hatch, you are open to the classroom, you're open to people coming from upstairs, you're open to the meeting hall, or people pushing up the stairs to the side from the actual objective site. So by going upstairs, you're essentially 2 floors away, and if you've managed to clear that out, you're a little bit safer from roamers. Now don't misunderstand me, you're not completely safe, so you need to keep your ears well and truly open, and make sure you've droned out the top floor. And it doesn't hurt to have someone covering you. On games when I have tried this, I've taken Rob playing as Hibana, so that a couple of the flashbangs can get thrown down through the hole first to clear out any ADS systems. But give this a try, see how it works out for you. Try it, potentially try it in a custom game first and then take it into the real game. But yeah, really, really cheeky little tactic. Tip number 2 for this week is going to be a hiding spot. Now, on the map Villa, there are loads of little cubbies and hiding places that you can actually get into. But this bush just here is so cheeky. If you're playing as Caveira, by coming over and shooting just this single section here, it will actually open the plant up so you can climb in. Now, you could potentially do this as someone like Valkyrie, surprisingly, and place your cams out, or as Caveira and use your bulletproof camera. But by clambering into this pot, turning yourself sort of a 45-degree angle to the wall, and moving yourself forwards all the way and then backwards a little bit until your legs are showing in front of you, you are really well hidden. Now, the other two guys that I was doing this with really struggled to sort of do it, but I've practiced it a little bit, so it's worth practicing first, and it probably isn't going to hurt to have your teammates say, yes, you're hidden really well there, or no, you're not, because if you get this right, you're really well hidden. If you get it wrong, your legs are sticking out or your head is sticking out massively. But it's predominantly effective against people moving this way. I wouldn't advocate taking this into ranked. However, on casual, you could have a real laugh with this. As soon as you climb in here, you are practically invisible, and people walking past just will have no idea. Once you walk around this corner, you don't continually check the plant. I mean, you cover the long corridor where people are going to potentially come from. So being able to just have a defender jump up out of this and surprise the attackers that are trying to push the living room is going to be hilarious. Tip number 3, and the final tip for today's video, is going to be on Clubhouse. Now, the reworked Clubhouse is so much fun to play, but because it's been reworked, a lot of people aren't really taking use of the new hatches that have been put in. They don't seem to pay any attention to this at the minute, and that is our opportunity to capitalize on that. By coming into the construction room upstairs, the new room that's been built, you can throw an impact grenade just here and it will open up the section of wall and the hatch in the cash room. By standing in the cash room or the CCTV room itself, or server room should I say, you can stand in the doorway, and this really does work well with someone, particularly with an ACOG, but you can keep an eye all the way through onto the kitchen doorway. Now, this is a real high traffic area, especially if you're defending downstairs, so having a line of sight onto here from 2 floors away is pretty effective. I mean, you are through so many different walls, and, you know, the line of sight you've got is so effective that the second someone moves around in there and sticks their head out that doorway, you can just take it off. Now, for demonstration purposes, I have opened this wall right up here in the bar and made it really obvious as to what you can see. The more you use this, the more you know what you're looking at, the more you can play around with it. The wall in the bar, you could potentially just open it up a little bit and just have a smaller hole so that you're even less visible and you're even less likely to get spotted. The nice thing about this is you obviously have a lot of rotations from upstairs, and you can quite easily get back down to the basement should you need to. Being able to get an early pick on someone here in the kitchen or pushing down onto the main stairs, and then run a late flank onto anyone that's pushing down blue, could be really, really effective. The other option is if you're playing in slightly lower ranks, I have noticed that Fuse gets taken quite a lot. And if Fuse is attacking the kitchen and trying to do all of the kitchen floor, you can keep an eye on quite far back into there. Now, you're not going to get him, you know, while he's moving around near the hatch. You're not going to be able to protect the hatch from here, but there are plenty of other ways to do that. Perhaps we'll cover those in a different video. Hopefully you enjoyed these tips. Hopefully they help you out a little bit and you can incorporate them into your game. As I said, if you've got any tips and tricks that you want to share and you want to see in a future video, head on over to my Discord, click this link just here, and leave your tips and ideas for me to take a look at, and then potentially we'll see them in the future. Thank you so much for all of the continued support. If you don't subscribe, make sure to, and click that little bell notification. But until next time, guys, stay reckless and relentless.